Today I want to talk about a project that I worked on a few months ago and never had a chance to share with the YouTube audience, so I want to do that today in today's vlog. It was for a class called Pop-Up Window Displays, which is all about creating interactive storefront window displays, something that I absolutely love. When I walk around New York City and I see some amazing window displays that do something neat or a bit of a kinetic sculpture or there's some level of interactivity to them, I always love that, and I've always wanted to work on something like that. So I signed up for this class called Pop-Up Window Displays, and I teamed up with three friends of mine, Christy, Ben, and Anessa, and we created for our final project something called Bird on a Wire. And the idea is that there are these birds that sit in the windows. We had access to a storefront window, one big window on a corner of a street, and then a few little windows on the other side of the adjacent wall. And there are going to be all these birds that would sit in the windows, projected into them. And when you dialed in, you would not only hear the birds, but you would set them flapping and flocking around the display, bouncing all between the windows and everything. Eventually they'll settle back down and find their spot on the window and on the telephone wire. But the idea was that you can call in and disrupt them and hear them and see them all from outside the street. Now we created this, we discussed a lot of different options, a lot of different ways to do this, and we settled on using projection because it's a really effective way to make some sort of big thing out on the street that'll catch a lot of attention. For instance, like you can create a window display that is a lot like what you see with mannequins and stuff, and with maybe there's some kinetic movement. But we thought that we would want to do something that really like shined out onto the street with a very low budget. So the budget really mostly went towards vellum, the sort of translucent material that we hung up in the wall in the window, and then we used two projectors that we borrowed from the school to project on each side, each window. What we did was we set up a processing sketch so that we could click on each. We can use our mouse pointer in the windows and click in each spot that we want to where we want a bird. So that the lattice of that window, we were able to click where every bird we wanted to be was, so that we could kind of point the projector wherever we want and then click birds right into place. So we kind of mapped out the birds in that way. The telephone side of it was done by Twilio. It's a telephone API that makes it really easy to interface online sites or any kind of service with phone calls, both placing phone calls, receiving phone calls, and same for SMS. So if you're not familiar with Twilio API, I recommend checking it out. It's a really cool API. It made it really easy for our window to accept phone calls, which was a critical part of what we wanted to do because it went with the theme of the telephone wires in the window. So check out the Twilio API. The installation, what I think really works well about it is that it can really be installed anywhere rather easily, and it can be easily customized for any environment. As I said, we can kind of click birds into place. So in another setup, we had pointed the projector at a bunch of panels, and we were able to click birds onto each panel and set them up that way. We're actually this week going to be setting it up in a gallery in Brooklyn, in Gowanus, for a gallery installation there. And it's just a matter of setting up the projector, putting the birds into place, hooking up the phone number, and then you've got an interactive installation. So I wanted to share that project with you. I'm going to put a link in the description for more information about that if you want to see what that's all about. And I'd love to hear about any cool storefront windows that you've seen out there, or if you even care about storefront windows or you think they're cool. I think it's a great venue to put cool interactive projects. It gives you a chance to think big about something. And it's just a cool way to catch people's attention, especially here in New York City, where people just walk, they have the purpose, they don't pay attention to what's going on around them. It's a way of stopping them for a second and catching their attention and then showing them something beautiful when they don't expect it. So I just wanted to share that project with you. It was a fun project. I had a great team. We worked together really well, and we're glad to be still showing it off, and I'm happy to be able to show it to you guys as well. Thank you for watching this video. Leave a comment. You can find me on Twitter @MattRichardson. You can also email me, matt@mattrichardson.com. I'm also on Google+. I don't mention that much. If you go to google.com/+MattRichardson, you'll find me there, so you can circle me. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.